Is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
Yeah, hoping to get rid of that interception bug. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And his first pass is incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And it's second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Wilson to throw again. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks all day.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So how's that for an interesting way to start this ball game?
First drive of the game, and you go backwards all the way into your own end zone?
Guess it kind of makes you wonder what else we might have in store here in this one. This is brought in at the 21. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. A little bit in terms of ratio, but first and foremost, they did win the game.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
Here's Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Ryan looking downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. If this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. the teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Hey, 0-0-0.
They go play action now. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Going back to Moore. This time he's got him complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's got the first down and more past midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing in too much double coverage might have a couple of them pick. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. They were looking for Johnson that time. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
So the big question today is, how will they play in this weather? Because you can recreate moisture, right? You can do wet ball drills, things of that nature. But snow, you cannot create that in practice. You can't prepare for it. You just have to deal with it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now it's Ryan. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That one a first down pickup of 8.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A big play there on the the catch and run. 47 yards. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And they'll get this down to the 10. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
He's got Smith here. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. Second goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go now with Smith. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. Third and this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Jeff Slame, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. No surprise there. Third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw is Wilson. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive?
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
There's Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's third and short. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried a stress reversal into the game, you know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Covered a lot of ground there, 81 yards on the punt return, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Brandon, I loved his game in college, and I thought he would translate well as a pro. Boy, did he exceed my expectations. Another punt return for a touchdown.
Busted onto the scene as an all-pro returner as a rookie. He's not looking back. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead's down to 2 scores now at 16. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Off the draw, here's Johnson. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 2nd and a couple, Ryan, they'll set up the screen to Smith. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. The open man is Smith. Touchdown, Falcons. First first half touchdown passes. And the Falcons push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. No problem there on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go to the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've come upon halftime. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Johnson. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack on first down, Wilson, and his throw's going to be incomplete. David Moore, the intended target, and it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Third and long, it's Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's first and 10 at the 36. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Jones has it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards, the final tally.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? A first down carry here for Johnson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kerryon Johnson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Watch the twist. He's great.
They run again with Harris. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Wilson now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's going to look deep for more. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Falcons will take control of the football in... Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in